Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is part 2 of this Animal Crossing inspired lettering piece. Today we're going to be focusing on creating the galaxy letters in the center of this piece. If you missed part 1, I will link it in the description box below. Otherwise, you can just follow this method and create your own galaxy inspired project. To begin, I am drawing my letters with a light mint color. This is 291 of the Tombow dual brush pens. All other pens that I will be using come from the Tombow dual brush pens Galaxy palette, which I will link below, so I'm not going to list those numbers individually, but this pen came from one of the pastel sets, I believe, and just works really well as a nice light color so that when I'm working with the others, I can see my letters really well and there won't be any white spaces left that I need to try and cover up or fill in at the end. So begin with whatever pens you have. Tombow dual brush pens are great because they are water soluble and they blend really well, but obviously things like Crayola markers are also water soluble, so you could try using those as well. Once we have the light base of our letters drawn in, we're going to go in with some shades of blue, pink, and purple and just scribble on different portions of our letter. You don't need to fill in the whole thing. Leaving some gaps means that you'll have some lights and darks, some shadows, and that will give some dimension to your galaxy. After coloring in the different shades, we're going to use our water brush and carefully blend them together. You do not need a lot of water for this, and using a smaller brush is best, especially if you're doing smaller letters like I am. Now that you see how that first letter is done, I'm going to speed through the rest, and then we'll move on to using our black marker, which will really sell this galaxy effect. When your letters are completely dry, we're going to grab a black marker and using the fine tip end, we're going to outline each of our letters for the first step of adding darkness and depth to our galaxy. Now we will take the brush tip end of our marker and scribble around some of the edges and the middle of our letters. Just add some black wherever you want there to be more of that darkness that reminds us of space. You don't want to cover the whole letter because that will cover up the beautiful blending you did before, and you only need a little bit of black because black ink blends really well. So it's good to start with just a little bit at a time so that it doesn't overpower the work you've already done. After we've dried our letters for the final time, you want to cover up any parts of your work that you do not want splattered with white paint. We're going to be using white paint now and a toothbrush to create stars across our galaxy. You can use any basic acrylic paint for this step. I'm just using a plain white acrylic paint I picked up at the craft store and an old toothbrush. This is a tiny baby toothbrush, but use whatever you have on hand. Dip the toothbrush in a small amount of white paint and using your thumb, just flick it all over your letters. This is going to create a beautiful and realistic looking splatter of stars all over your galaxy. If you still want to add in some larger stars, constellations, or stripes from the Milky Way, a white gel pen works really well for that. So you can add in those finishing touches to really personalize your galaxy letters. And now your galaxy is complete. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that it gave you some tips and tricks for creating your own galaxy. This would be a great method to use if you wanted to create large monogram letters for cards or hanging artwork in your home. And I'll link part 1 of the video here, as well as another one of my doodle lessons. I would appreciate it if you could like and subscribe, and I hope you come back next week for more tips and tricks. Thanks for watching!